Hey, it's time again, movie fans, for me to make you an offer you can't refuse. Last week I was in the mood for 80s films, but this week I've got something from the mid-70s, the early 2000s, and last weekend. Brand spanking new. How about that? Our first film poses a question I imagine gets asked a lot. Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married is a roller coaster of emotion. The sequel's even more so, FYI. It's about four couples who are also friends that get together once a year to openly work on their issues. So one of the characters is a therapist, so it's not a completely bad idea, but as you can imagine, disaster ensues. And I'll warn you, there are characters in this movie that will infuriate you. A wife that doesn't mind embarrassing her husband in public, and a husband in another couple who makes his wife drive halfway across the country by herself. There are very humorous moments. If you enjoy seeing couples bicker, this is a film for you. It also has several pearls of wisdom, including one in my favorite line talking about the 80-20 rule. In most cases in marriage, you're only going to get 80% of what you need. That's it. No more, no less. The problem is you're going to leave 80 thinking you're getting something better, and you end up with 20. Why Did I Get Married is streaming on HBO. Now going back in time now to 1975 with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The great Jack Nicholson plays a criminal who pleads insanity and is placed in a mental institution. There he's inspired by the other patients and becomes a symbol of hope for them. It has one of the scariest villains, Nurse Ratched, also an amazing supporting cast, Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd, and Scatman Crothers. It's a really heavy movie, but Nicholson's charm balances it out in the perfect way. My favorite line, if that's what being crazy is, then I'm senseless, out of it, gone, down the road, wacko, but no more, no less. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is also streaming on HBO Max. Well, jumping way ahead to a film that came out last week, Hocus Pocus 2. I'm a big fan of the first, so my expectations weren't low, but I wasn't disappointed. Now, is it as good as the original? Of course not. However, I think it's as close as we're going to get. Seeing 77-year-old Bette Midler knock a musical number out of the park is totally worth it. This is the only movie this weekend I'd recommend for the kids, but it's perfect for Halloween. My favorite line, I love your resting witch face. Hocus Pocus 2 is streaming on Disney+. And don't worry, I'll have plenty more Halloween recommendations as we get closer to the big day. Don't get scared now. That's this week's movie watch list. I'll have 3 more recommendations next week. For more of my movie ratings, visit my letterbox. The address is there at the bottom of your screen. As always, leave the criticism, take the cannoli.